Today we're going to be talking about Solar City, which is going to be soon on Kickstarter. Solar City is a city building game. This is set not in the distant future. The degradation of the ecosystem along with several turmoils have led to the decrease of the population in Earth. The corporations, however, have decided to take over and get a bit more influence from the people. Thus, they announced the Solar Revolution. So, are you going to be able to become a powerful corporation and build the city of tomorrow? Let's see a bit about how the game plays. In Solar City, players are going to be building skyscrapers on their city boards, upgrade them to sky gardens, and also build public buildings. These are the main three actions of the game. First, place the city board in front of you, take your markers and place the skyscrapers and the sky garden markers to the track at 0 point. Leave the activation markers close by. Place the main board and the round marker in the center of the table with the e-coins, the solar points, and the loan tokens nearby. Shuffle the building cards and pick 6 of them. Rearrange them in descending order and place the building tiles to the corresponding cards. The number of the tiles to be used in each game is defined by the number of the players in the game. Then create 3 piles by mixing the buildings together. First from the columns 1 and 6, then from 2 and 5, and then from columns 3 and 4. Place them in the slots of the main board. Take the public buildings, shuffle them, and place 3 of them in the corresponding slots in the main board. Also, place 2 e-coins on each one of them. The rest of the buildings remain face down. Take your starting coins and then you're ready to play. The key concept of the game is the city building element. You can either build a skyscraper or a public building, or you can upgrade to a sky garden. These are the main actions of the game. In order to build a skyscraper, first choose the skyscraper that you want to build and the place that you want to build it. Pay the building cost. This is 1 e-coin for each of the skyscrapers that you have already built on your city board. Build the skyscraper on an empty tile on your city board and move the skyscraper tracker up by 1. Lastly, activate your city. Choose which row or column you wish to activate. Place an activation marker on it and then activate the abilities of every skyscraper in this row or column. Other players need to place their activation tokens on the row or column that you have chosen, however they do not get to activate their skyscrapers. In order to build a public building, choose the public building that you want to build as well as the place that you want to build it. For each public building, you pay a fixed cost of 8 e-coins. Build the structure, refresh the pool of structures on the main board, and then activate the city as mentioned before. Public buildings give you an ongoing effect, so you need to check whenever the conditions are met in order to activate it. Lastly, in order to upgrade your skyscraper into a sky garden, choose the sky garden that you want to activate. Then you need to pay 2 e-coins per sky garden that you already own. Build the sky garden, move the skyscraper mark down by 1 and the sky garden mark up by 1, and then resolve the sky garden effect immediately. Lastly, move on to the activation city phase as mentioned before. If at any point in the game you don't have coins in order to pay for the activities that you need to do, then you have to take a loan. The loan you can later repay. Each unpaid loan costs 1 solar point. A round finishes when all activation slots have markers on them, and then you need to take the end of the round steps. Resolve any of the end of the round effects from the public buildings. Remove the activity markets from the slots on your board. Place 2 e-coins on each public building and advance the round marker by 1. The game ends either when all rounds have taken place or when 16 tiles have been placed on a city board. At this point, the player that has placed the last tile on his board finishes the round, and then the game also finishes. At this point, you do the final scoring, pay attention to the final scoring effects that you might have on your board, and the player who has the most solar point wins. The rulebook explains the game very well, so it is very easy to start playing Solar City. Player interaction is continuous in the game, as each of your moves has an effect on what the other players do. Especially, this is done in the city activation phase. This is also one of the highly strategic elements of the game, because you need to achieve the best result for you while at the same time block your opponents and maybe not let them activate something that they wanted to do. Also, in general, what we saw while playing the game is that it is equally important to see what you're going to do in the round that you are playing, and also plan ahead for the rounds that are coming. This is going to help you gather more victory points or else solar points. There are many options available in the game, although you have only 3 actions that you need to choose from. Downtime is also very minimum. 2 to 4 players can play the game, but it is very fast paced. Everything goes fast around in the table. As you have seen, there is some artwork. However, this is not final. Some of the artwork and some of the layout on cards and tiles has changed. This has made it more clear, and it helps a lot identify the buildings, the skyscrapers, and everything that goes around on the board. This is very, very important because the game has a lot of bookkeeping to do. So everything is cleared and laid out perfectly, and now it's easier for you to understand. The game also comes with a very, very handy reference card that you're going to be using throughout the game. Overall, this was a very solid and fast-paced game. I would say that for me, it had a bit of an abstract feeling. However, if you like city building games, or if you're fond of the tile placement mechanic, then definitely check out the game, because the way that the mechanics are combined with each other give a very, very unique feel. This has been Solar City, everyone, which is coming on Kickstarter by Games Factory. You can find the link of the Kickstarter in the description below. If you liked our presentation, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time.